Welcome back, everyone, to the Daily Dollar Podcast. I'm your host, Cait, and I'm here with
Art Morrison III, ladies and gentlemen.
And today we're going to talk about FHA loans. We have discussed them a lot within our strategies, and they're a big
We don't have any episodes about FHA loans?
Not specifically, no.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to do one just like completely dedicated to FHA loans. I was scrolling through our content earlier, and I saw that we put a lot of emphasis early on in our careers on the FHA loan and teaching that. So
is it bad that I don't know what FHA stands for? Can you Google that real quick?
This is why I got.
So while she Googles that, I mean the general definition of an FHA loan, it's essentially a government-backed loan where the government says, hey, everybody deserves to buy their first house, their primary house, the roof over their head, right? It's wrong to make us rent or to make the people rent forever. They should be able to build wealth through their first house. So we're going to allow them to put as little as 3.5% down on a property, which means if a property is $200,000, you only got to come up with $7,000 in order to acquire that property. There also is like a really low requirement for credit. I mean, it used to be like a 580. I think it still is pretty low, but it really fluctuates with your income. Meaning, like if your income's high but your credit stinks, you know, they'll let you get by with a lower credit score. If your income isn't that strong, you probably need a higher credit score. But the premise of it is, hey, everybody could buy their house. You know, everybody can buy their first house and start building wealth and at least leave this earth, leaving behind a house for their kids. Because, you know, home prices and the value of houses are not like back in the 17 to 1800s where you can trade a mule for a home or whatever. So
so this is the easiest way and the cheapest way to purchase a house.
Yeah.
So FHA, I knew this. It stands for Federal Housing Administration.
Oh, so it's the corporate. That's the government, guys. Federal Housing Administration. Why didn't I know that? I thought it was something else. I'm confusing
You know what?
it with something.
Because we always call it the first-time homebuyers loan.
Yeah.
And that starts with an F.
Right, first.
And it has an H in it.
First time, one word.
Yeah.
Home buyer, second word.
Right. Yeah, so that's, I guess, probably why we don't know.
And there's like Fannie Mac or Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae and all these different whatever. So FHA, I just was confused. I thought it was something more complicated than that. But whatever, an FHA loan, the Federal Housing Administration, I'm going to read this out loud, generally known as FHA, provides mortgage insurance on loans made by FHA-approved lenders throughout the United States and its territories. So, AKA, the Federal Housing Administration steps in and allows anybody to buy their first house.
Yeah, but you do have to be cognizant of where you're purchasing the house, right? Because not all areas and communities allow you to purchase with an FHA loan.
Oh, that's a good point. See, I never really ran into that. That's like more of a realtor thing.
Mm-hmm. I have somebody a client right now, a buyer who's trying to purchase using an FHA, and we are looking at townhome type communities.
And they all don't accept FHA?
And a lot of them do not accept FHA.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hope that condo we trying to buy take FHA.
The one in Florida?
Yeah. We trying to buy a condo. I didn't even think that. I'm like, we're going to use our FHA. We got 2 of them joints right now. We're not married yet.
Yeah, so that's definitely something to look into. Make sure that they do accept the FHA.
We'll do that after this podcast for sure. But most places, accept an FHA. You would say most like standalone houses that aren't in a
most
in
do.
A community.
But if they're not in a community, typically they do. But getting an FHA loan they're very strict on the house, like the quality of the house. It has to be to certain standards.
Absolutely.
For them to loan.
They want to ensure it's not an investment property because, as you can imagine, people with knowledge like Cait and I have, we would capitalize on like this loan.
What are you trying to say?
To make. What I'm saying is like to flip a whole house. Imagine if you could flip a house for 3.5% down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna buy a $500,000 house. 3.5% down and sell it for, let's say, $1 million. You know, like, because the higher you get, the higher margins there are. So that's actually a great point as well. They're very strict on the quality of the house. It can't be a fixer-upper.
Right.
It can be a little bit, but then it would require a 203K loan. But even then, like 203K is for basic repairs, not hard construction. So it needs to be habitable when you purchase it.
And did you already say you have to live in it for a year? because it's a primary.
So we didn't even get there. I mean, you've heard
Yeah.
us say this on mad episodes, but yeah, it's a primary residence loan. So when you use this FHA loan, you can't use it and put tenants in it. That's not what it's for.
Or you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. I mean, you can't. We'll just stay straight and narrow. You can't. You're not supposed to. So, right. I mean, you can, right? You can break any rule or law you want to, but you could get in trouble with, the federales, the Federal Housing Administration.
Government.
Yeah, the feds. You can get in trouble with the feds for sure, but you're supposed to live in it for 1 year. After that year, not only can you move, but you can also refinance, okay? So what I always tell everyone is make sure you buy a house that is going to appreciate and that you can build some equity in so that in a year or two, you can refinance into a new loan, and then, you can reuse your FHA, which is really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Meaning
I don't think
the roof over your head you can always move into only using 3.5%.
A lot of people don't know that you can refinance.
They think you use it once and it's a wrap. We're in the process of refinancing, I think, one of our FHAs now into a conventional loan so that we can put tenants in it and rent it out and reuse our FHA on our dream home. Because as you can imagine, our dream home is going to be bigger and more extravagant than an investment property. So we want to be able to put the smallest amount down, and that increases our budget exponentially, right? 3.5% of, 400,000 is only 14,000.
Right. So while it does allow you to put less down, so you're a little more liquid, your payment is a little higher.
Your payment's higher because you're financing more of the principal balance. You only put 3.5% down. That means 96.5% of the property you're financing. Plus, since it's a government-backed loan, there's what's called PMI insurance. It's basically mortgage insurance, and it's higher because the government is helping out. I want to get that fly so bad, but I'm going to try to chill to the end of this episode. I almost had it. But yeah, because it's a government-backed loan, the insurance is higher because you put a lower amount down. So that 96.5% that the bank has given up needs to be insured, and that insurance can make your monthly payment and mortgage higher.
Private mortgage insurance is what it's called, PMI. We always refer to things as acronyms. So
you came up with a good idea to say acronym week, to call this acronym week.
Yeah.
FHA is an acronym.
Oh, that's good. So we kind of started off strong.
Monday, guys, this is acronym week. We should have said that at the beginning.
I didn't know if we were going to stick with that, but...
Well, you mentioned it earlier, being that we went with FHA, and then we have to talk about LTV. We have to talk about, I almost said HOA, add that to your list, right? PMI is another one. I mean, these are full episodes that take explanation. So anything else you have about FHA?
No, I think that's
so the best use of FHA. We talk about leave the fly alone. We'll get it in between. You got it?
I hit him.
Oh my God. This is like the episode of Breaking Bad, the fly episode.
Oh yeah, that was such a stupid episode.
Well, this one's about to turn into that because I really want to get that fly. Listen, so FHA, the best usage of an FHA, you've heard of house hacking. I think we've done an episode on house hacking. But the best usage, or the best use of an FHA loan.
The best way to use an FHA loan is...
The best way to use an FHA loan is all the time. No, so when you're using your FHA loan, you want to typically have a higher purchase price because you have to put the lowest amount down. Meaning, if I'm buying a house for $100,000 right now, I might not use my FHA loan on that if I have the money, because that's only $25,000 if I put 25% down. So I want to save that 3.5% for a much more expensive property. What properties are more expensive? Well, multifamily properties are typically more expensive, and you can actually use your FHA loan on a 1 to 4 unit property. It's 1 to 4 units. Anything over 4 is considered commercial. So FHA is only for residential. So 1 to 4 units you can use your FHA loan on, and obviously you have to live in one of the units because it's your primary residence loan. We just explained to you the rules of an FHA. But if you use your FHA loan on, let's say, a 4-family for $600,000, that's 3 more units you can collect rent on. So if you bought your property for $600,000 and your mortgage is $4,000 a month, well, if you get $1,500 from the other 3 units, that means you're making $4,500. So that means you profit $500 and you live for free, which is what everyone calls house hacking, and it's a very exciting strategy. I mean, even if you break even and you only make $4,000 a month on the other 3 units, you still live for free, or you can get a roommate and they could pay half of what your unit's rent would be, and you can house hack that way. There's so many different strategies, but
super duper cheat code.
Super cheat code, and FHA, the FHA loan is a huge part of that because it's low entry, meaning I mean, anyone can use an FHA because it's such a low down payment. So anyone with a savings, anyone who is in a relationship, and we can combine our savings. You can also get the down payment of an FHA loan in the form of a gift from parents or a family member. They can literally write a letter saying, "Hey, this is a gift," and then give you the down payment. The funds have to be verified and stuff, but that's a whole nother story. But they'll give you, you can get a gift of the FHA down payment to acquire FHA. So everyone pretty much goes with that loan on their first property.
Yeah.
And these are all the reasons why. So that's FHA in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Do you have any other stuff?
No.
Use your FHA, buy multifamilies with it. House hack.
Yes.
Live on one side, rent out the other sides, refinance after a year, and you have that investment property for life. And now you're collecting rent on the unit that you were living in. Use your FHA loan. FHA, what does it stand for?
Federal Housing Administration.
Word term. Anyway, guys, I'm Art Morrison III here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Google Podcast, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Also, leave us a review, please. That would be awesome. We
Yeah,
haven't
leave
asked for reviews.
We'll do a call to action on Instagram too.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Leave reviews. We need some reviews. And visit unitedhomerelief.com to see what our full real estate company is all about, including our online course that teaches all of these strategies and terms and definitions in depth. I'm Art Morrison III.
I'm Cait McCready.
Catch you guys on the next episode.
See ya.
Peace.